They're hoping I could stay with them, and I was hoping I could too, but they lived, once I sort of realized some people jamming. I don't know if I can upload this, because it's probably a recognizable tune. Hi. It might seem like I just film exclusively at McDonald's, and that's true. Welcome to Walk America, because this is where I edit. I've been walking across the country for something like 453 days, actually exactly. And this YouTube series is my attempt to document that journey. Enjoy. Success. Yeah, I'm pretty well hidden. That was a good job. Good job, Isaiah. You're good at this. Alright, I think I've come up with a game plan. So, for completely arbitrary reasons, I do want to see Rhode Island, but Rhode Island is predominantly Providence. That seems to be all there really is. There's other stuff, but it's like there's Providence, which takes up most of the state, seemingly. And then there's a lot of open space and a few other towns, but even then they're probably regarded as suburbs of Providence. That's how small the state is. So I think I'm going to take north once I hit New London, and instead of crossing the river to go over towards Mystic, I'm going to go north up towards Norwich, take that north corridor all the way up to like 44 or something. That'll help me. Then I'll go over to Rhode Island briefly-ish, hit a town called Woonsocket, and then enter Massachusetts. My route through Massachusetts is cars, somewhat dictated by the fact that I used to live there and I want to visit the old stomping grounds. I used to live in a town called Hudson, Massachusetts, which is a little bit west of Boston. So I kind of want to pass through there, then I might turn and kind of go along the Boston area. I have an old friend from college that lives near Boston now, Walter, and so I want to maybe see if I can't head that way. I mean, Boston has its own thing, and then I'll dip briefly into New Hampshire. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do there yet. And then it'll be the last leg, the last stretch, Maine. Because if I just decide to like cut across New Hampshire, which I probably will, given the time of year it'll inevitably be at that point, it's not very long. I'll just cut across like a real little corner of New Hampshire. And then I'll just be walking along the coast to Maine. And I was looking at it, and it's a big-ish state relative to Rhode Island and all those things, but it'll be close. And then who knows what comes up next? Who knows? Can't tell me that's kind of cool. Number 2. Woo, woo. I don't think that's visible. But I have, at long last, made it to Montville. I'm just kidding. I didn't know Montville existed. But now that I'm here, I'm liking it. There's something agreeable about it. Maybe I'm misremembering things, but it just seems like out east, the open land that just was a thing out west, a lot of places, just isn't a thing out east. If there's land that's cleared, it's owned for a reason, and there's fences, and I don't know. I've been scanning through the map for the last 20 minutes. I just didn't see anything promising. Perhaps you could say my skill set was mostly honed in the west, and so the telltale markers I look for are only relevant out there. But I did walk in the south for a long time, and it has a similar profile in terms of land usage. Then again, going to sleep has always been a difficult concept. Always. It's never been easy. But it's only like 7:30, so I still got time. I can walk for a while longer before I must retire. Hi. It is pretty cold. Not like terribly. I feel fine in my sweater. A couple came out. Tori and Manish. They were hoping I could stay with them, and I was hoping I could too, but they lived, once I sort of realized some people jamming. I don't know if I can upload this, because it's probably a recognizable tune. I tried to take a video yesterday, but I think there's like an American Legion next door, and they were having some sort of music night, band, drums, playing recognizable songs. If you play recognizable songs on YouTube videos, the video gets demonetized and or claimed for copyright, so I couldn't do it. But I am sleeping behind an old subway, is what the people who told me about it said. And it's actually kind of perfect, because there's a shopping mall right there, and there's houses in the American Legion right over there, but this old drive-through sign blocks me from vision over there pretty well as the bushes. The building itself blocks me from the road, and that blocks my view from the shopping center, so nobody can see me. And that is the biggest key of how to sleep anywhere. Just be somewhere no one can see you. If no one can see you, no one can be bothered by the fact that you're there. And evidently nobody really comes back here. I sort of got that gist. The only being who did come back here was a possum. At about 3 in the morning, he came right out of the bushes. No, I mean, I heard steps. I'm good at that. I wake up to steps because I need to be able to explain myself if it's a human. But with it being a possum, all I did was look aggressive and kick my tent, and it made a noise, and it made him run away. So, another night safe. Now it's time to press on. Pack up and press on. Fantastic. Now we just walk calmly away like we didn't do anything. What do you mean? I'm just walking here. I didn't sleep behind this old subway. Yeah, it's definitely a subway. It has that unique subway branding. Okay, I think I've left Montville at this point. If I haven't, I'm on the edges of what is technically their border. I'm approaching a town called Norwich. Seems nice. Don't really know anything about it. I don't know if anybody coming up knows about me either, so I might get back into a routine where it's just me and the road and McDonald's. supposed to be a waterfall. I think there is only a staircase. I might go for it. Success. Ooh, we got another guy with wheels. On the map, this place is labeled as Uncas Leap. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. UNCAS Leap. And I'm gonna whip out my drone for the first time in who knows how long. I really do like the footage it gets. It's just every time you do it, it's, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I have so little daylight as it is, and excuses. Yeah, that's pretty. The combination is really potent with the old train trestle, the footbridge, calm water, the canyon right there that goes sort of down that way, and then the falls themselves. I gotta break out that drone more often too. That was a good time. That was a good time. Norwich has been an exceptionally cute town. I gotta show you this tree that I passed. First of all, this house is pretty, as was the one preceding it. I mean, look at that tree back there. Yeah, that one. I guess it's not as cool looking right now. Hold on. And the light was hitting that just right. Man, it makes you feel glad to be alive and out here doing this kind of thing. But the canyon I walked through was really pretty. The trail I took to get here was really pretty until I had to go up a hill and made me angry. Not really. It was just a steep hill. But I mean, woo, man, this town is built for fall. I imagine Guilford was too. I think I caught Guilford a week or so too early, but I could imagine that place in the swing of fall festivities and Halloween type times, and yeah, that place would be really pretty. I mean, look at this street. Woo! Woo! And if you're wondering, this is why walking just makes so much sense to me. None of it's like none of it like makes me, none of it's like, man, I wish I was the kind of person that went out and found that fascinating. I just am genuinely like in awe all the time when I see places like this. The oranges and the reds of the trees and the stately homes, and nobody knows about Norwich. Like, it's never, my whole life I've heard of Philadelphia, right? I've heard of New York, I've heard of Beijing, I've heard of Amsterdam. Until I walked into it, I'd never heard of Norwich, Connecticut, and it's a shame. This place is gorgeous. Man, that tree! Whew. On a Chinese thing lately. All right, sweater has come out. It's getting cold. Yeah, Norwich is one of the nicest looking towns that looks like it's really struggling. Most of the buildings are empty on the ground level, which is surprising because it's actually pretty clean. I don't know, it's just a weird juxtaposition of, I don't know, just looking kind of shabby when you look close, but on a grand scale, at the macro level, everything looks well organized. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the contrast, the juxtaposition of the two, of nice and not nice. I don't know. I can't decide which one it is. I rarely am so stooped or stumped. I don't know. But I'm headed out now because I'm always getting more and more conscious of trying to make distance. Which I know is lame because that's like my whole thing is I don't care about the distance. But cold. And it's only getting colder and the days are getting shorter. And I feel like that's just Smash Mouth song. Days get shorter. Just wait until you get older, something like that. Pretty. So pretty. Oh, that's good. It's not even 7 yet. Darn it. There is literally always something to complain about. In the summer it was too hot, in the fall the days are too short. I'm never gonna be happy. You gotta take what you get, Isaiah. Stop being so dang, hard to please. And, to me, the sky looks quite purple. But the camera is not really doing that justice. I don't know if that's really coming through. Man, Norwich really impressed me. I just really found it pretty. I would really like to come back here. I saw earlier on the satellite view of this place, on the other side of the river, it looks like there's a big old hospital, abandoned, but one of those kinds that they you see in shows. It's like the former psychiatric hospital, and they've got 5 buildings across a big campus, and they probably did terrible stuff to their inmates back in the day because they were irresponsible. Anyway, but now there's just the remainder, the buildings and the large campus, and it's out here in the middle of Connecticut where at this current location there's not tons and tons of population, so it's not been converted to anything. And it looks so cool, but I'm on the wrong side of the river. And I'm trying to get to Maine. I don't know, the future's so hard to predict, but I do see a very viable future timeline where after finishing Walk America, something I could do next is buy a van and live in it. I have so many constraints when I'm walking. The need to keep moving, weather, security for all my stuff, weather, speed, I just can't get anywhere fast. Weather. I know I've said that 3 times. It's such a big one. Finding a place to sleep. So if I had a van, power, Wi-Fi, weather. So if I had a van, I could nix all of those. Anyway, and then I could have more time to explore, and yes, I would lose a ton about Walk America that made Walk America Walk America. But I've done it for almost a year and a half now. And so you gotta shift things up sometimes. Anyway, so I could come back here and do it again. It's a loud truck. Actually, something I've been planning since the beginning is to do Walk America again, but in a vehicle. So follow the same path I did through all the same towns and stuff, and then I could take time to realize, that's a song. I could take time to see all the spots that I couldn't get to because they were 3 miles out of the way or whatever. In a vehicle, that's very doable. And then I could have a place to sleep every night. Because speaking of that, guess who doesn't know where he's going to sleep tonight? As in an hour and a half, hopefully. This guy has no clue. And he never does. But he likes it. Despite how much he might complain, He secretly likes it. Oh, I'm gonna miss this when it's over. My, oh my. Hi. Still in Norwich, which is okay. Haven't found anything yet. The cemetery looks cool. But there's nowhere in this cemetery that I could hide. And unless I have permission, I really try to avoid trespassing unless I know I can stay super hidden. Like the subway I slept at last night, former subway. The lawn was still being mowed, so I know someone owned that. But because I was so hidden, effectively, from view of anyone, and I didn't think anyone was going to go past there, it worked. Because I didn't think I was going to be seen. So I found this abandoned shopping center, Starwood Food Market, which used to save people time and money. Saving you time and money. I don't think it saves anybody anything anymore. So that seemed promising. Get behind it, be out of sight. And I probably would have gone for it, even though it's definitely trespassing, because someone owns it. Undoubtedly it is. There's a sign over there saying for lease, but it doesn't look like anybody's used it in a long time, judging on various factors. The reason I did not go for it is there's a 18-wheeler like truck, not the engine, but the thing they tow behind it. And that's visible on the satellite view, so it means it's been parked there for a long time. I looked inside and I think I saw signs of recent habitation, maybe even current. So that was a no-go for me. I try to be by myself. So, given that it looked like someone had already copped that good spot, I wasn't going to contest them for it. We are moving on. It is 9 o'clock. 8:40. Nearly 9. And we will find something else eventually. Okay. I think I might see something, maybe. Which is not... Get the cart off the curb. Without breaking it. That is not the type of language I like to use when I'm considering checking out a place that's over a mile away. Because then if I walk all the way there and it turns out to be a dud, it's kind of no fun. But I'm not seeing anything besides this abandoned shopping mall that I'm still sitting at while I was investigating. My standards for being hidden are pretty high for a couple reasons. One, I found I sleep a lot better when I am pretty sure no one's going to find me. Because, I don't know, I just don't have to feel like I'm as alert. I don't have to be... I feel like I don't feel like I need to be as alert. Two, another thing working against me is I am not an early riser. I have tried so many times during my life because I felt like that'd be more productive. Who doesn't love to see the sunrise? It's just not meant to be. I've tried so hard for so long. And if I force myself to wake up early, I just feel dreadful the rest of the day. I'm the kind of guy who sleeps in. So, that being said, by the time I usually wake up, there is light already, so I am not hidden by the shroud of darkness. I am not hidden by the fact that most people are still asleep. No, I wake up later than your average decent waker-upper. So, by the time I'm waking up, there's light. People are milling about. I really need to be hidden in order to feel comfortable and in order to get enough sleep to continue to do this. Alright, found what we're going with for this evening. It's not great. I expect chances of being woken up by disappointed persons in my choice of sleeping location, about 40%, which is higher than I like, but I am tired, so that's it for tonight. I think I'm going to start trying to ask people, just like random people, can I sleep here? I'm tired of this skulking around stuff. No more stealth for me. I want to sleep honestly. Good night. Subscribe.